Thank you for your patience through the weather delay here, and a very good job by the entire NFL staff and the Steelers clearing the stadium when the dangerous weather was in the area. The forecast of rain remains throughout the evening. We think the heaviest of the rain will be through after the first half, but the most important part is the dangerous weather is gone, and that is why the fans who are all in the concourses now return to their seats. Pittsburgh won the toss and will receive, and what we'll try to do is help you as much as we can with the yard line tonight, because I can't see any of the numbers out there. Allen Rossum, we got his 30. Ready for it. Jay Feely set to kick off.
I got you covered on the numbers.
Yeah, good luck.
I've got a seeing eye dog up in the booth. We're okay.
Rossum fielding at about the 12. Up the middle, Rossum is taken down around the 32-yard line, a 20-yard return. And here comes Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback. He has started 50 games in the NFL, and he's won 36 of them, 20-5 here at home. But Ron sacked 7 times, as mentioned, by the Jets in the loss last week at the Meadowlands.
Yeah, and the Jets did a really good job of breaking down the protection schemes of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were getting a free blitzer at Ben Roethlisberger, breaking down their slides and their pickups. Good job by the Jets last week. Let's see if the Dolphins can do the same this week.
1st and 10, and we'll keep the yard line in for you as often as possible, since you can't tell when you look at the screen. It's at the 33, and this is Parker dancing to the left. He gains about a yard. Keith Traylor in there on the stop, along with Donnie Spragan, who's starting for Derek Pope here tonight.
I got to ask you a question. With all the golf that you've done, is there a casual water rule on this field? Is there a lift, clean, and place rule so we know that the ball will be dry?
We're just hoping the Miami uniforms stay somewhere where we can see the numbers, because they will be dirty. But take a picture now and look at the Miami uniform in 3 hours, right? Gain of 1 by Parker, 2nd and 9. And Roethlisberger with the throw. It is too far for Hines Ward and incomplete. Hey, Jaws, let me go back, I'm sorry, to something just basic. Players are such creatures of habit. Usually you come out, you warm up, you go back in, you go through your team warm-ups, and then you go back in the locker room and go. Here tonight, a truncated warm-up, 10 minutes out on the field, and then you're ready to go. Will that have any impact early on tonight?
You know, I really believe it does, and I think the Dolphins get a little bit of an advantage because they had some delays early this season to start their game, so they're used to being, thrown off their normal clock.
It's a good point. Their game against Oakland in Miami was delayed a half hour at the start for the exact same reason.
Really helped them in the record book so far.
They lost that one. Against the 4-man rush, Roethlisberger throws complete to Hines Ward. It was the first down at about the 47-yard line. Andre Goodman made the tackle. Officially, it was a gain of 14 for Ward. It's 1st and 10. Pittsburgh at their own 47. And Roethlisberger to the air. A sliding catch made by Cedric Wilson. A gain of 13 and a first down in front of Michael Lehan into Pittsburgh territory. It's 1st and 10 from the Miami 39. It's a gain of 1.5 yards for Willie Parker, who's carried it as much as anyone in the NFL this season. And as we heard from Joey Porter, here is his return. And when we met with him last night, he was so anxious to come back and see his old buddies.
Very excited, not with the 0-10 record with Miami Dolphins, but to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Disappointed that he's been primarily a strong side linebacker, has to play over the tight end. That means he doesn't play in space and doesn't get the ability to attack the quarterback that he loves so much to do.
2nd and 8, Pittsburgh at the Miami 37. Opening drive of the game. Roethlisberger, everybody's covered. Ben good out of the pocket. Stays alive, completes it for a first down to Hines Ward, who gets it out at the 29-yard line.
Once again, one of the strengths of Ben Roethlisberger is to extend the play. Receivers run their routes, they don't get open. You'll see Ben survey the field, no one open. He moves now away from the rush. All of a sudden, receivers uncover. He throws the ball very well, moving to his left as well as his right. Accurate on the move.
He's having a great year. He's the number 2 rated passer in the entire NFL. And nobody really knows it because the distance between Brady and him is 20 miles.
Brady and everybody else is 20 miles.
1st and 10, Pittsburgh at the Miami 29. Parker Channing Crowder is playing middle linebacker in for Zach Thomas, who's inactive for the 4th consecutive game, 6th time this year. Crowder makes the stop. The gain was about 3.5.
Mike Jaws and I were watching them drop stuff on the field. You can probably see certain brown spots near where the ball is now. Jaws insists it's cat litter. Jaws said to me, this is what they're doing. They're dropping cat litter on the field.
They're soaking up the water.
2nd and 6.
And you believe me.
That is the 25 of Miami. And Ben gets out of the way, intercepted, and who else but Joey Porter takes it away, and right in front of the Steelers sideline says, hi guys, remember me? 10 to 20 of you used to come to my house for Thanksgiving dinner, and I got the leftovers tonight. Joey Porter comes up with the interception, and Miami will take over at the 35. Jesse Chapman is the running back. No Ricky Williams as of yet. John Beck, the rookie out of BYU. 2nd start. Penalty marker is down, killing the play before it gets started. Jeff Triplett hasn't had a flag yet, but has had a very busy night with getting the game delay going.
False start. Number 72 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now, Ben Roethlisberger just threw an ill-advised interception. You'll see Hines Ward coming across in motion. He's going to run the out route. Ben drops back in the pocket. He's looking inside. He's going to look to here and to here, to both tight ends. That's where he wants to go with the football. But they are both covered. Now he moves outside the pocket. The throw is late. He tries to stick it on a line drive throw. Porter's able to pick it off.
1st and 15 after the flag. Chapman slowed by an ankle injury. And Larry Foote comes up to get him for a loss of yardage on the play. It was a sprained left ankle for Jesse Chapman. Here's the Joey Porter interception. Look at it. I know you love me. I know you.
Oh, yeah. Shocking. Shocking that.
Well, we asked Ben Roethlisberger, what'd you learn from your time with Joey Porter? Immediately, how to trash talk.
Yeah, Roethlisberger made the tackle, though. It was his tackle. They get acquainted that way.
Beck almost lost the handle, gets it to Chapman, only for a yard. Miami's stuck in neutral right now, and let's spend a moment here after Brett Kiesel's tackle to introduce you to John Beck. He's the 2nd-round draft pick, number 40 overall of the Dolphins. He's a rookie and 26 years old. He went to Brigham Young University as a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints, Mormons. He went on a 2-year mission to Portugal after his high school days, before his college days, then went to BYU and overcame a lot of stress at BYU, including suspensions, coaching change, stabilized there, and put up very good numbers, good enough to have a lot of teams interested in him, and Miami selecting him at 40 overall. Making his 2nd start tonight. His first throw is to the 1st-round pick from this year. Ted Ginn into the clear. He's going to be stopped at the 40. That's going to be 5 yards shy of the 1st down, and Miami's going to punch it away.
It's interesting that you would put those two together, and that would be the passing combination. When Ted Ginn was drafted, people booed in Miami because they wanted Brady Quinn. Cam Cameron later said the key to our draft was to get both of them, to get Ginn in the 1st round and Beck in the 2nd round. And Cameron sees his future inextricably tied to those two players as they move forward.
Brandon Fields, the rookie out of Michigan State, to kick it away. You saw Allen Rossum back deep. Covering kicks is going to be very tough tonight. Poor punt. It stops. It's a 36-yard kick. Look, not getting any rolls tonight. Steeler fans, boy, they are hale and hearty. Game delayed 25 minutes at the start because of the rain. Pittsburgh turnover possession, one starting from their own 25. Roethlisberger picked the last time, throws to Cedric Wilson, the gain of a half dozen, in front of Michael Lehan at the 31. Well, we heard Joey Porter with the pick before. Joey had a special message for his teammates before this game.
No matter what the score is, they know how I play. I'm taking somebody with me. Whether it's Ben, Willie, y'all better get low. Hines, you come and try and crack back on me, you better get low, because I'm head hunting for everybody.
Well, it was ball hunting on the first possession, came up with the interception. After a gain of 6, a 2nd and 4 run with Parker to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 8, and a 1st down for Pittsburgh with Willie Parker.
Excellent use of formation variation by the Steelers, and now in their speed offense. In other words, no huddle. They spread the field out that time at 3 wide. They created seams for Willie Parker. They've gotten away from their counter game. Now it's straight ahead in the sloppy weather.
From the Miami 40, first down. Pittsburgh 40, I beg your pardon. And Parker gains a couple. Channing Crowder with the tackle.
Now, we talked about Joey Porter, who, by the way, is a sports writer's dream because he never shuts up. We asked him, could you imagine 0-10? He said no. His defense last year was a number 5 defense in the entire league. The new coach, they brought in an offensive guy. He thought Cam Cameron would fix the offense and Miami would be contenders immediately.
2nd and 7 for Roethlisberger. He's getting time, and Hines Ward is busy. To the 46-yard line into Dolphin territory. Porter makes the tackle on Hines, but it's a first down.
We continue with Porter then. Here's the thing about Porter. He said he thought he was coming in there to make sure that Jason Taylor was single covered. He said we were supposed to wreak havoc. And Jaws, as you said before, he also pointed out they're not attacking in the way he expected when he went to Miami.
A little different change in philosophy due to all the injuries the Dolphins have suffered on the defensive side.
Gain of a dozen from the Miami 46. Parker, left side. Tackle missed by Channing Crowder. Parker just shy of the first down. Jason Allen made the tackle, a gain of about 9. Well, one thing Miami has seen a lot of is teams gaining first downs on the ground. No defense in the league has given up more rushing yards, and that's part of the reason Miami is second to last in points allowed, and they have not gotten off the field on 3rd down as well. Run by Parker. We'll check the spot as Crowder and Keith Traylor made the tackle. Let's see if it's near the yellow line. There is Zach Thomas. Missed a couple of games in September for concussions. Now missing a 4th consecutive game with migraines. They have said he will not be cleared to play until he goes an entire week without lightheadedness or any reaction from those migraines. And he was playing at a high level, too, when playing earlier this year. Pick up the first down and empty the backfield from the Miami 35. Pressure comes from the Dolphins. They got to Roethlisberger as he was passing. Ben able to slide on it back at the 49. It'll be a loss of about 14 yards.
Will Allen, number 25, came to the blind side, the left side of Ben Roethlisberger. He never saw him. It was an empty backfield. You see number 25 coming in clean. You see number 78, Max Starks, could not get the arm quick enough on Will Allen. Ben never saw him. There's the fumble, recovered by Roethlisberger.
And that's Max Starks starting for Marvell Smith, usually the left tackle, but out tonight because of a back problem.
Excellent job on the stunt design by Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator.
For Will Allen, first sack of the season, 3rd of his career. Roethlisberger to Hines Ward. Good open field tackle by Travis Daniels, playing the nickel, 3rd-year man out of LSU. And Tony was talking about the changes to defense, not the philosophy they were hoping to play coming in. They've lost 3 safeties for the year, Jeremiah Bell and Ronaldo Hill and Tavares Tillman, and that's really affected the back end, so the pressure that Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator, would like, not here right now.
Well, clearly when Joey Porter came to the Dolphins, you know, he thought with him on one side and Jason Taylor on the other side, wow, they can just attack the line, attack the quarterback, big year. But if your secondary can't cover, you can't bring the heat.
3rd and 24 from just on the Miami side of midfield. Shovel pass to Najee Davenport. Only going to gain a couple of yards as Roderick Wright, out of Texas, playing in his first season, made the play. And the Steelers, after a prosperous start to the drive, will punt to Ted Ginn Jr. There's one reason Ted Ginn Jr. moved up to number 9 in the draft. As Cam Cameron told the fans of Miami on draft day, you will be excited every time he catches a kickoff or a punt and can add to the return game.
And they booed him because they didn't think the number 9 guy should be a return man.
Just a fair catch of a Daniel Sepulveda kick here. It happens at the 15. Miami taking over from its own 15-yard line. And on the handoff, Jesse Chapman is taken down by Larry Foote. Second tackle by foot behind the line of scrimmage tonight. And let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, you've talked about young John Beck, the rookie starting at quarterback. He has leaned a lot on Trent Green, who's now on IR, but helping out with the quarterbacks. And he has said he wants to use Trent's experienced eyes to see the field. And Trent wants to help him too, but more than that, Trent wants to be a sounding board for Beck. He said, I don't want to overwhelm him with advice, but I do have experience. I'll tell him anything he wants to know, but I'm not going to force my ideals on him. Mike?
Trent Green injured in that 5th game of the season against Houston. Injured reserve, out for the year. Beck throws to Ted Ginn, who catches on the side. And Tyrone Carter makes the tackle at the 20-yard line.
This is one of the things I expected from John Beck this evening. A little more movement on him. Get him outside the pocket. Change that launch point. The Steelers do a great job with their pressure up the middle. Now, you move the quarterback, you take that Fire X away. And oh, Tony, look who's in.
Ricky Williams.
Interesting, Ricky Williams, who was not a part of the team at all until practice this week, comes in a 3rd down situation. Again, Williams has not played in the National Football League in 99 weeks. And here's his first carry since. And Ricky Williams keeps it alive and gains a 1st down for Miami at the 25-yard line.
Excellent job by Ricky Williams. You can see he has the power right there. He's 231 pounds, 18 pounds heavier than he was with the Dolphins 22 months ago. He needed that extra 18 pounds there as he drove those legs for the 1st down. What do you think, Tony? 1 carry, a 1st down.
I've got a lot to say, but they're going to run a play right now. Over the course of the game, you're going to hear a lot from me about Ricky Williams.
Did not play in the NFL in 04 and 06. Did play 11 games with Toronto of the Canadian Football League. This is the first time he's been hit. The Dolphins did not hit in practice this week. And Aaron Smith and James Farrier bang him around after a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Look, it's a fascinating story. I mean, everybody knows Ricky Williams won the Heisman. He was the leading rusher in the NFL for a while, and he threw it all away. He was smoked pot all the time. He got busted time and time again for this. He left the league at one point in some spiritual quest, and he went on national television and said he liked to smoke pot. Well, there are rules against that in this league, but he's had to be clean probably for the last year in order to get back into the league.
On 3rd down, final play of the quarter in all likelihood. Williams with nowhere to run, runs in to the waiting arms of Arnold Harrison. Getting some rare action. He's played mostly special teams. Harrison makes the play.
Well, what Ricky must do, you can't go outside with the field like it is right now. You got to lower your shoulder.
Rain continuing to fall heavily. The 2nd quarter begins with a 3rd down for Miami. 3rd and 9 from their own 26-yard line. And the rookie John Beck steps up and throws the long pass. Ted Ginn couldn't squeeze it in front of Bryant McFadden's coverage. 4th down, punt.
You'll see Ted Ginn right on the outside. He gets the isolation route working against Brian McFadden. If the ball was delivered on time to the outside, you had a chance for the completion. But John Beck was looking to the inside of the field, was flush from the pocket, came late back to the outside.
Brandon Fields to kick. Alan Rossum awaits. Missed it. That's going to be less than 20 yards on the punt. I think Pittsburgh is going to take over in Miami territory. 3rd possession for the Steelers. All of them have gone into Miami territory. This one starting there at the 48, and a run of just 1 yard by Willie Parker against the Miami defense that's poor statistically, but has some big names on it, including Jason Taylor.
Jason Taylor, when we talked to him the other day, we now know that Miami is committed to rebuilding. They've had so many injuries, so many guys on IR. You know, they traded away their #1 wide receiver. They're looking to rebuild. Jason Taylor obviously wonders if he's going to be a part of that after being an MVP last year. I mean, he talked in terms of a pronoun, Mike, they. He didn't even say we. Didn't you get the sense he was distancing himself from his team?
It's certainly not the cast he's been around.
Nope.
Zach Thomas, his defensive buddy and brother-in-law, out the last 4 games. Out of the gun, Roethlisberger throws to Nate Washington. Got the start for Santonio Holmes tonight. Gets about 5 yards. 3rd and 3. Steelers spread the field. There are 6 defensive backs on the field for Miami. And they bring the corner pressure again. Roethlisberger takes off, and Ben is stopped a yard shy of the 1st down at the Miami 40-yard line. Joey Porter right in the middle of it. Ben is telling Mike Tomlin, hey, let's go for this 4th down.
These are the same pressures that the Steelers' offensive line had trouble with last week against the Jets. You see Sean Mahan, number 61. He had trouble with Joey Porter up the middle. Then there was pressure from the outside. You would think that the Steelers' offensive line would have made the adjustments from a week ago. Right now, they're having trouble picking up the stunts of the Miami Dolphins.
It's a pretty good play by Porter. Got in there and able to make a turn on this wet field. 4th and a long one from the 41. Najee Davenport stopped. Not going to get there. Vonnie Holiday at the top of the pile. Will Allen is having a very good year, was in there as well. Guys, we know when the weather's bad, field position is important. Maybe they should have punted there, Ron.
I believe they should. The field is now flipped in favor of the Dolphins.
Miami taking over at its own 40-yard line. A 22-yard punt didn't burn them. Ricky Williams for the run. Gains about 6 yards. Now the reverse to Ted Ginn. Tries to stop on the dot. I don't think it's the night of reverse is going to work too well.
No.
James Farrier on the stop. Loss of 1 on the last play. Dolphins 3rd and 5 with Ricky Williams running left. Lost the football. Pittsburgh has recovered. Penalty marker down. Back in the Miami backfield. James Farrier knocked it from Williams, who again on a wet night taking contact for the first time. And Ricky stung by that shot.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 64 of the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 70 of the offense. That penalty is also declined. Result of the play, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
Again, if you're just tuning in, heavy rain, resodded field. All the lines that were painted on the field yesterday came off when the tarp came off. So that's why, other than that Steeler logo, there are very few yard lines out there. Into the hole comes Parker. He gets 3. Willie tackled by Jason Allen. Let's go back to that fumble.
Well, you'll see right here, Ricky Williams giving up the football, hurt his shoulder. This is a guy that hasn't had contact in the National Football League in 22 months. He's been with the Dolphins since last Monday. This time of year, teams work out with shorts, shells, and helmets. He's not been hit in a long time. James Farrier put the lick on him. He didn't have ball security. Pittsburgh Steelers get the football.
It's not like he was sure-handed back in 01 through 03. 22 times he fumbled, 16 times he lost it. So it was an issue back when Ricky was a regular in the league. Another reverse try, this time by Nate Washington. No gain. Joey Porter pushes him out. 3rd down here. Roethlisberger in the middle is vacant. The catch by Hines Ward. Pecked his balance, and Jason Taylor hustling all the way back, brings him down. It's a 1st down at the 22-yard line, but a penalty marker.
Number 44 of the offense.
We'll bring it back.
10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Najee Davenport erases the big gain for Hines Ward.
Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, showing a lot of different looks on that Dolphin defense. That time kind of had that creep look defense. And then you'll see number 44, Najee Davenport, that Davenport grab right there. You can't make that kind of play.
Jaws,
Boy,
that's a corner coming in.
That's a corner. You
Come
just
on.
Hey, you know, that's where you got to put the shoulder right into him. And Will Allen coming on the blitz, you got to stick him. My friend Merrill Hodge, he can do some coaching on that one. he'll kick him out the factor back fraternity.
Well, he's been factored onto the sideline, and Kerry Davis comes in to protect Roethlisberger after a 20-yard gain was erased. 3rd and 17. Ben gets it to Davis, and the former Fighting Illini Illinois player is brought down by Will Allen, who is having a fabulous game thus far here tonight. It'll be 4th down, just for about the 8th snap in a row, right on the Dolphin side of midfield.
Yeah, and Will Allen's had a really solid season for Miami Dolphins. Balls thrown at him been completed at less than 50%, so he has been very sharp. He's had 12 balls defensively. He's got his hand on 12 balls. That's one of the best in the National Football League. So Will Allen has played solid cornerback position for the Dolphins.
Again, an Ohio State rookie 1st round. Sepulveda, rookie out of Baylor, 4th round. Fair catch, Ted Ginn at the 9-yard line. The heaviest of the rain came through, but as you look down, you can almost see where the tarp was lying, and the water pooled. So every 20 yards is a really bad spot. Miami's played most of the game in their own territory. Only a dozen snaps and 1 1st down. Ricky Williams is back in the game. He waved off the trainers on the sideline earlier. First catch from Marty Booker, who gains about 8 yards in front of Ike Taylor to the 18. Williams with the carry for the first down, and he takes it to the 21-yard line.
People ask about the intrigue with Ricky Williams. It's simple. He threw it away. He threw away millions of dollars, and all he wanted to do, as he said again on national television, was smoke pot. And so he got suspended and suspended and suspended. But let's bring out a couple of things, okay? He wasn't involved in dogfighting. To our knowledge, he hasn't brandished weapons. He hasn't driven drunk and hurt anybody. He hasn't even used performance-enhancing drugs. He has been slavishly devoted to something that's illegal in the NFL and in the country, smoking marijuana. But I think he's been villainized to some degree beyond his villainy.
Well, as you saw, he went out favoring that shoulder again. He's not going to wave away the trainers this time. Meantime, John Beck has to take off, and he slides for a gain of about 7 yards. So Williams, who hurt the shoulder on that fumble earlier, let's look. As they were going for it, he gets stepped on.
Yeah, that can't be fun, Joyce.
No, it can't.
That was Lawrence Timmons, the rookie first-round pick, who was just going for the ball.
And I'll concede this thing about Ricky Williams because I know people bring it up. He walked out on his team. He may very well not be a good teammate, and his teammates may not want him back. But I'm wondering, Jaws, if you agree that maybe he's been villainized more than he should.
Well, you mentioned the key component. He walked out on his team. I know at that time the Dolphin players were very upset that he bailed.
Legitimately. Well, legitimately so.
2nd and 2. Jesse Chapman comes back in the game with his sore ankle and loses a couple of yards. Casey Hampton, who's on the Steelers' 75th anniversary team, makes the tackle. Meantime, Williams, with that shoulder injury, continues to be looked at by the medical staff and will be taken back for further examination in the locker room.
Were you surprised, Mike? Jaws, were you surprised Cam Cameron took him back?
No, I was not surprised. They need a running back. They get a veteran player at minimum salary, and he does have a pretty good pedigree as a running back. Let's not forget, this guy was one heck of a player at one time.
I wonder if he can be that again. He's walking off the field now to be looked at.
6 carries, 15 yards, and a fumble. Timeout Miami with the play clock running down. Miami just used its first timeout. We are scoreless. The weather is improving. The rain is tapering down to drizzle and showers. And we'll see if that helps at all in a very difficult field to play on. Let's see what confusion look Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator, dials up here. 3rd and 4. Beck is protected and throws. It is caught and dropped, which has been a common phrase with Derek Hagan, the receiver. 4th down punt, but here's Michelle first.
Well, a quick update on Ricky Williams. You saw him go to the locker room. His right shoulder has an injury. He is questionable for the remainder of the game. They're going to take him back for further examination. But let me clean up a couple things you guys were talking about. The misconceptions Lee Steinberg, his agent, would say that you guys just talked about. You say he's a weird guy, he's a strange guy. Lee Steinberg would contend he's a grounded guy. He's a smart guy, and 10 minutes with him would dispel all the terrible jokes that have been said about him. The second misconception.
Alan Rossum on the punt return. Michelle, hang on a second. Rossum breaks free into the clear with the punter to beat. Deeks him right, and he's finally brought down across midfield at the 47-yard line. So the first big play of the game is made by Rossum. The kick was 53. The return was 34. 41 snaps tonight, 31 in Dolphins territory, yet 0-10 Miami scoreless with Pittsburgh. Will the Steelers finally break through? From the 47, Roethlisberger. Miami's coverage downfield has been good. Now breaking away is Dan Kreider, the fullback, to the 33-yard line. First down and a gain of 14.
Mike, I want to just add the second misconception. Again, this is Lee Steinberg, Ricky Williams' agent, but he said the misconception is that Ricky lost his love for football, and he said he lost his faith in whether he, as a human being, could fit in the NFL, but he loves football. He was on pins and needles waiting for the commissioner to reinstate him. He watched all the games on TV. So remember, social anxiety disorder, you got to question, did he walk out on his team or could he just not handle it anymore?
And Ricky's return truncated by the shoulder injury a moment ago. Meantime, the Steelers' Willie Parker breaks into the secondary, gains 9. Michael Lehan pulls him back, but still a good run to the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh sensing the need to take advantage of the good field position they've had all night.
Excellent downhill running by Willie Parker. The Steelers have gone to more of their lead-based blocking, not using their counters where they pull offensive linemen. They just want to establish the line of scrimmage and let Willie Parker run downhill. Been effective so far this drive.
Willie Parker coming into the game tonight, leading the league in carries, second in rush yards, but hasn't made it pay off. Only 2 rushing touchdowns on the year. Waiting for him is Roderick Wright and Channing Crowder.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Well, third down coming up.
Jaws said that they'd like to establish the line of scrimmage. Tirico would like to see the line of scrimmage. You have no idea
we know
what yard it's on.
And also, it's blocked by Keith Traylor, who's been playing kind of like the nose tackle. Keith is 6'2", 340, and he has been a load inside. He's a plugger, and right now he's disrupting the interior of that Steelers offensive line.
Very fast-moving half. 3rd and 1 at the 24. You're in field goal range, but any kick is also dicey on this surface. Roethlisberger will throw on 3rd and 1. Again, flush. It is hung on to for the first down by Hines Ward. There's a penalty marker in the secondary. Will Allen had the coverage, but this might be on Pittsburgh for pass interference. Let's see. It is.
Offensive pass interference, number 83 of the offense. The 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
On the go-to guy when you get down towards the goal line, Heath Miller, the tight end.
There is no question the go-to guy for Ben Roethlisberger is number 83, Heath Miller, in this area of the field. You see right there, Heath Miller trying to get his release. That was a bit shaky.
They called a pick play, what you offensive guys always refer to as a rub.
That's correct.
Rarely do you see it called as a pick, thus offensive pass interference, and that's what they called it.
That is correct. And you can see Joey Porter was jacking up Heath Miller on that play. They're going to become very good friends at the end of this day because Joey Porter plays over Heath Miller all day as a strong side linebacker.
Both Pittsburgh penalties tonight have cost them first downs. So on 3rd down, Roethlisberger trying to escape, but cannot. Quentin Moses, the rookie out of Georgia, comes up with his first full sack. He has a sack and a half. And Porter right there leading it along. It'll be 4th down.
You mentioned Porter on that. Porter told us last night that one of the things about Ben Roethlisberger is he will hold on to the ball too long trying to make a play, Joss.
Well, there's no question Ben is one of those young, extend the play, mobile kind of quarterbacks. He won't normally stay in that pocket very long. He'll look to the primary receiver, not necessarily go through his progression because he's had such great success outside the pocket. Joey Porter knows him as well as anyone.
From their own 36. From here, a field goal will be 53 yards. And this is one of the hardest stadiums to make field goals in the NFL. So it would be a punt situation no matter what. It is kicked by Sepulveda. Fair caught by Ginn at the 10. And Miami takes over with a long field and 2:05 to go.
We should point out that Miami's still in the game, which is not something that's happened all season long.
You know,
this is a perfect scenario for them so far.
And right now, there's blood in the water. You know, they can smell it right now. Hey, they're going to probably go into this thing, no score at halftime. The weather has helped them. The elements have played to their favor. They're in good position right now for an 0-10 football team.
Well, a lot of people like to say of Miami that for an 0-10 football team, they're pretty good. Yeah, they're the best 0-10 football team in the league right now. And they've lost 5 games by 3 points each, so they've been close. But if you got to win, you have to win. That's right.
Yeah, statistics are for losers.
That's right. You have to win.
1st and 10, Miami at its own 11-yard line. Jesse Chapman is the back. He gains 3 yards to the 14. Dolphins from their own 14. Miami tonight, 18 plays, 2 first downs. And John Beck's throw looks to be hung on to by David Martin, the free agent acquisition out of Green Bay. It's the biggest play of the night for the Dolphins and a first down.
And if David Martin would have been able to stay on his feet, he would have scored. He got behind the Pittsburgh secondary. Ball was slightly underthrown by John Beck, but he is wide open. Breakdown in the Steelers' coverage.
And he did hold on to it. Tony, we'll see you at halftime.
That's good.
With Mike.
I'm going to go down the locker room, see if I can talk to Ricky, bring him on to PTI.
No game for Jesse Chapman, stopped by Casey Hampton on the play. We have a scoreless first half in Pittsburgh. You're wondering when's the last time that happened? It has been quite some time. Just limited to the regular season. It's been almost 52 years. Wow. Chicago Cardinals 1955. That postseason game in 72 against the Raiders. The immaculate reception game. 2nd and 10, Miami. Back to Justin Peel, who's knocked off his feet by Tyrone Carter. Gain of just a couple. James Farrier's nice pressure, forcing it out. Again, Carter in for Troy Polamalu. Peel has a career-high 22 receptions on the year. Miami holding on to their timeouts in no hurry to force the issue.
I agree with you. Now, I'm a little bit surprised. I think you got to take a couple shots here, although it's 3rd and 8 right now. But you got to believe Cam Cameron, the way things have gone this season, to take a 0-0 tie into halftime on the road in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, he's happy to have a tie at halftime.
Beck hit as he throws, incomplete. He took a shot again from James Farrier. It's 4th down. The clock stopped because of the incompletion with 6 seconds left. And Beck making his 2nd start, his first one last week in Philadelphia.
And he does have some toughness. You see Farrier bearing down on John Beck. He looks down the gun barrel and delivers the throw. You're going to get hit. Welcome to the National Football League. John Beck in his 2nd start. He has shown some toughness. I went through that tape last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. They bring a lot of heat. He took some hits, kept getting up and fighting.
If you're running out the clock, run the ball. With pass play and stop it.
I agree.
Ooh, and the pressure coming up the middle from Lawrence Timmons. The ball is down, and the half comes to an end. The 2nd scoreless first half, 2nd one in the NFL this year. 3rd quarter set from soggy Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Heinz Field. Susie Colbert, Michelle Tafoya on the sideline. Mike Tirico, Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski in the booth. And as you see, as the half was going on, they started to line the field every 5 yards without numbers, and the band that came to play halftime, and their big thrill, they get the chance to play at the Monday night game in Pittsburgh halftime. They had to do their performance on the sideline. They were not allowed to come out and march there at the half. So as they continue to take another moment to get the field ready for this 3rd quarter, let's check what the coaches have been talking about. Down to Michelle Tafoya first.
Mike, I spoke with Cam Cameron just a minute ago coming out of the locker room. I asked him about Ricky Williams' status. He said he wasn't sure. The trainers hadn't confirmed anything, but it looked like Ricky was going to be okay. As far as the rest of the game, he said, we're battling. We've battled all season long. Now what we have to do is we have to finish the game. That's something we haven't yet done this season. Where can they do that? He's happy with the plays John Beck has made. He said, but if our receivers make a few of those catches, this is a whole different ballgame. We got to catch the football.
Michelle, this is a team, the Dolphins, at 0-10. 5 of their 10 losses have come by 3 points or less. So they have been close at times, but they've also gone through different changing periods here with Trent Green injured, and then 4 games of Cleo Lemon starting, and now the 2nd start for John Beck.
And the key word, Mike, was finish. You have to learn how to win in the National Football League. Then it becomes a habit.
Jeff Reed to kick. Kick coverage has been a problem for the Steelers. Ted Ginn couldn't field it cleanly on the bounce. Takes it from the 11, sloshing his way through that area where the tarps were, and he's out to the 31-yard line. Susie has the update on the Steelers side.
Well, Mike, you know, the calling card of this Steelers team is being physical, and Mike Tomlin was most upset last week that they didn't do that against the Jets. He felt the Jets were the more physical team. Tonight, he said that's not the problem. He feels in that sense they're playing fine, but overall, he said it's just tough out here. We've got to be able to sustain drives, way too many penalties. He said that's the toughest thing, but you'll never get a coach to say conditions are a problem. As he said, it's the same for both teams.
Their penalties, although not voluminous, were penalties that erased first downs and kept Pittsburgh from getting into the red zone on one occasion. As a matter of fact, there hasn't been a snap in the red zone for either team tonight. It's truly a game played between the 20s. Tackle made by Tyrone Carter. Let's, Ron, talk about those field conditions that Susie alluded to.
Well, they are horrible right now. It's like a quicksand out there. If you're the quarterback, look what you have to drop in. You got water up to your ankles and mud. Very tough to throw the football with those conditions. Check if you're a lineman, you're driving, you're sloshing, you're trying to get to the quarterback. And look at this. Pretty much your feet sink about 3 inches down into that. I guess you could call it mud, Tony.
I guess that kitty litter you said they threw down hasn't helped as much as you hoped, huh?
That shot was of Jesse Chapman, 50-year man of Eastern Washington, remains the back as Beck throws to Ginn. Ted Ginn the catch. Stopped and tried to make a move on Deshae Townsend. It's out to the 47. That's enough for a first down and a pickup of 15 yards.
Nice job by the design of this play by Cam Cameron. Basically 8-man protection, 2-man route. You can see the hook over the middle wasn't there, and John Beck does a great job of coming back to Ted Ginn Jr. Nice stem at the top of the route, pushed Deshae Townsend deep, came back to the outside, gave a nice passing lane for John Beck. Well executed offensive play by the Dolphins.
Beck again complete, this time to Marty Booker, just across midfield and into Pittsburgh territory. Here are the numbers from the first half. The Dolphins have just crossed midfield for the first time tonight, given the 71 yards in the first half. Pittsburgh not a heck of a lot better at $112. And you see it's been long fields for both teams. Pittsburgh the better of field position, but has not done much with it. You know, guys, here's John Beck, who's played 6 quarters plus 2 minutes against 2 of the toughest defenses to play on the road against Philadelphia and Jim Johnson and what they do with their confusion, and Pittsburgh and what Dick LeBeau does with his zone blitzing confusion. No sacks, no picks. I know he hasn't been spectacular, but he's not made the big mistake. 2nd and 6, Chapman running hard to the left and a first down, brought down by Larry Foote with a gain out to the 40-yard line. Back to Beck, covered deep, passes high, but hauled in for the first down and a gain of 14 by the tight end David Martin.
Mike, I believe the Jaws is smelling victory for the Miami Dolphins, aren't you?
Well, I really thought going into that half at 0-0,
yeah.
they smelled some blood in the water. You know, they're hanging in there. Now they're coming out. Look how aggressive they are in this second half.
If they actually win this game, does that mean that the 76 Bucks, do they pop beer cans somewhere because they still have their record, their pristine record?
At the 26-yard line, Chapman slips and falls, was not touched. So he gets back up and loses a yard. James Harrison, star when we were here last Monday night, 3 weeks ago, made the play. You know, Chapman, guys, has lost some of the spotlight because of Ricky Williams. But here's a guy who was out of football for a couple of years in his own regard. But his story was weight problems. He backed up LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego. Actually had a 100-yard game in Tomlinson's stead 4 years ago. Then ate his way out of the league. Traded to Miami, they never played him. To New Orleans, they didn't play him. Ballooned up to 280 pounds.
Whoa!
Cam Cameron knew him from the San Diego days. He was the offensive coordinator there. Got himself back in shape, and here he is with an opportunity after Ronnie Brown's out with a knee injury. Beck looks left, throws it away. With 2 receivers on that side and 4 defenders, so he lives to see 3rd down.
Tough to eat your way out of the NFL. Most of the time, they're having you at the training table trying to bulk you up.
You eat
gotta
good
go
and
some.
you work hard, Tony. Normally, you're down in Miami, too. How can you gain all that weight down there? It's heat, humidity. Whew. But again, back to that last play. Nice design by the play. Changed the launch point for John Beck. No one was open downfield. Did the judicious thing with the football, throw it away, live to play another down, fight another day.
You know, Miami brought in a new kicker in Jay Feely for Orlando Mare to have somebody who can kick in bad weather conditions. They're right on the edge of field goal range here on 3rd and 11. Let's see what Beck does. Throws underneath. It is deflected, and it's caught by Chapman. That's going to end up losing 4 yards and making the field goal about 48 yards. Brett Kiesel was the man who got his hand up there. Chapman had to catch it because who knows who would have gotten their hands on it. And let's see what Cam Cameron does.
What do you think, George? You go for a field goal here?
No.
3 points can win the game.
The conditions are horrible to kick the football right now. Yeah. I can't imagine, you know, Jay Feely being able to plant that foot without it sliding away, and it could be a low kick, get it blocked. I think they're doing the right thing here, taking a shot. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised, you know, a quick pooch punt here. I don't know if John Beck has that in his repertoire.
So from the 31-yard line, Beck will take a timeout here, 4th and 15. Terrible towels waving. Steeler defense getting the fans charged up as the rookie quarterback John Beck will face 4th and 15 at the Steeler 31. Marty Booker, Ted Ginn, bottom of your screen. Booker came in short motion. Steelers bring 5. Bring Beck down. Larry Foote and James Farrier, the inside backers, meet at the quarterback. A loss of 9. Pittsburgh takes over at the 40.
John Beck did not have much of a chance. You'll see number 50, James Farrier, just leap over Jesse Chapman for the sack. Chapman's got to be able to stick the shoulder in there and hold up Foote. No chance for John Beck on the play. Running backs in the National Football League must be able to block if they want to stay on the field on 3rd down. Obviously, Chapman did not do a good job there. Maybe he could have used that 280 pounds there, Tony.
Farrier's had a huge night, so has Foote. Farrier has 9 tackles. Foote's had a couple behind the line of scrimmage. And Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense take over for the first time at their own 39-yard line. Willie Parker dances to the left. Gets to about the 46-yard line. Let's give him a gain of 7 yards. And a Joey Porter, Channing Crowder combo tackle.
Excellent patience there by Willie Parker. In fact, they're on a part of the field where it looks where you're going to get pretty good traction. Most areas of the field, you can see the mud and the water. Looks like Willie Parker could get downhill in a hurry in this area of the field.
If you can get a first down, you're going to get to the second best area on the field to operate. Parker runs left. Only going to gain a yard. Jason Taylor's over there to make the play.
That's true about the second best area on the field, but you're going to have to traverse some of the bad areas of the field eventually if you ever hope to score a single point and win this game.
Traverse, is that like go over? I just want to be sure you get that.
That's exactly right.
Parker's going to come out in this 3rd down situation. You know, we saw Jason Taylor. We talked about the homecoming for Joey Porter, who played here in Pittsburgh. Truly a homecoming for Jason, who was born in Pittsburgh, homeschooled, played high school football for 1 year at Woodland Hills High School. Said when he was growing up here, he couldn't get a Steeler ticket. So he didn't come to a lot of games as a fan, but loved watching the Steelers. 3rd and 3, and Roethlisberger's throw is complete for a first down right across midfield to Hines Ward. Mark it at the 48 and keep this drive alive as Ward makes his 5th catch of the evening.
On the verge of an offensive explosion now, gaining yards 3 and 4 at a time.
They move the chains. Hines Ward in the slot right here. Good position right there. Andre Goodman on the coverage. Hines, very good possession receiver. Can feel the coverage, find the weakness, find the void, settle down. Ben Roethlisberger and him see the field with the same eyes.
Parker runs right, and now they're into the best footing available out to the right here at the 44-yard line as Parker tested it to the outside. Gain of 5. And once again, if you're just joining us, Susie detailed it so well earlier. They put a new layer of sod on top of the old grass surface as all the high school games and Pittsburgh Panther games and Steeler games, 7 and 11 days, came to an end. Only the Steelers play on this field the rest of the way. So at significant expense, that new sod was put in after the Pittsburgh Panthers finished their game late Saturday afternoon against South Florida. And the crew's been working. They did a good job. Just the rain was poor timing and made this a really tough set of circumstances.
So there's
Porter again.
One of those misdirection plays, Mike, and Joey Porter with his speed and his quickness, as you said, comes from the backside. When the field is like this, you start pulling linemen. Joey Porter reads it quickly. He's quicker than the lineman getting away onto the play side. And Joey does a great job of diagnosing the play and making the play.
Porter has played well, as you see tonight. That interception came on the opening drive. It came in Dolphin territory. As a matter of fact, 6 possessions in a row. Pittsburgh has taken it into Miami territory and done nothing with it. Cedric Wilson in motion. The corner blitz is picked up by Najee Davenport. Ben got away from the first blitzer, but not the second rush man, who is Jason Taylor. Will Allen's initial pressure forced it. Taylor cleans it up, and the Dolphin defense has been very good in 3rd down situations tonight.
This has been a problem lately for Roethlisberger. There were 4 sacks on him with Cleveland. The Jets got him 7 times. The Jets only had 9 sacks in the whole season before that, and now Miami's getting to him.
Well, you know, once a blueprint is put in place, Will Allen coming off the edge gets the pressure.
Sepulveda's kick. Ted Ginn says get away. Perfect for Sepulveda. It spins sideways out of bounds from the 6. 1st and 10 for John Beck. Jesse Chapman is the running back. The gain is 1. Forced to take another timeout. Medical staff gave Chapman as much time as possible. Works him over to the sideline. Patrick Cobb's 11 carries in his NFL career as the running back. And a drop by Marty Booker. Now let's go back to the hit on the 1st down pickup by Chapman. Anthony Smith, 2nd year out of Syracuse.
Wow. It's a shot right there. On the hand, it looks like.
So Ricky Williams was hurt in the 1st half after his 6 carries for 15 yards. Ricky has not returned to the bench. Chapman being looked at. Patrick Cobbs, who did not carry the ball at all last year. 11 carries, 37 yards this year. He is the last healthy running back for Miami. Beck, sack. And that's going to be part of the problem as Aaron Smith combines with Larry Foote on the sack. With all of Pittsburgh's pressure, a running back to pick up some of this heat is so important.
What are you thinking if you're Cam Cameron? Okay, you have no running backs left. You lost Ronnie Brown earlier in the year. You lost Trent Green, your hand-picked guy early in the year. Cleo Lemon couldn't win any games. You get to a point where maybe you can possibly win a game, and it just, you know, everything that can dissolve on you seems to dissolve on you. You're a first-year head coach in the NFL, and you're 0-10. You're 0-10. Nothing you punch in works out.
3rd and 16. It's on the Miami 11. Beck looking for something. Throwing the deep ball. Incomplete. The coverage by Ike Taylor. Marty Booker going down the field. Larry Foote the pressure. The Dolphins have only picked up 1 of 8 third downs.
Here's what Cameron said. We asked him the other day, what is this like? He said, you don't plan it this way, I guarantee you, and I don't recommend it. 0-10, nothing works.
And Marty Booker on the double move. And Ike Taylor just waiting for it. And John Beck just trying to make a play. Trying to throw it down the field. Maybe you get an interference call, but trying to make a play.
It might have been, if picked, a play that worked out just as well as this punt. Brandon Fields struggled earlier, got the wet ball away. Alan Rossum going to let it go. And it looks like it's on a tee. If you tee the ball up, you couldn't put it any better. Steelers 7 possessions. All 7 have started in or advanced into Miami territory. They haven't scored. Willie Parker left. Picks up a block from Alan Faneca. Gains 9.5. As he's taken out of bounds by Derek Pope, who's in the game for the first time. Pope was in the hospital Saturday night for undisclosed reasons. Didn't feel well, went to the hospital. Traveled with the team, did not start, and is playing.
Excellent block by the tight end Heath Miller on Jason Taylor. Allowed Parker to get to the outside.
Willie, 62 yards, closing in on a 1,000-yard season. On 2nd down, Parker. Channing Crowder waiting for him, and a 1st down picked up at the 34-yard line. Pittsburgh at 7-3, trying to maintain outright possession of the lead in the AFC North and trying to stay within a game of the Indianapolis Colts and trying to get the number 2 seed. As you look back, Jacksonville and Cleveland have separated from the group. Tennessee's really shocking loss to Cincinnati. Not that they lost, but how badly they lost has dropped the Titans a game back in the AFC wildcard chase. Parker. Good patience. When they talk about the patience of a running back, it was on display there to the 27. The game was 8.
And this is what we expected. We expected Willie Parker to dominate this game. The Dolphins are dead last against the run. The Steelers are a great running team. Even though in the last 2 games there were some small questions about Willie Parker. 42 yards 2 games ago, 52 yards the game after that, George. You expect him to go well over 100 tonight, right? Or is it the field?
No, especially against a team whose foundation is the power running game, as Mike Tomlin likes to say, a violent running game.
Right.
That's what the Steelers need to get back to.
After runs of 9, 5, and 7, Parker gains a yard plus, and that should take him right to 1,000 yards. So Parker's the second running back this year to gain 1,000 yards in the NFL, and it's the third straight year he's gained 1,000 yards. And for undrafted running backs, the only other to do it 3 consecutive years, Priest Holmes of Kansas City, who earlier this past week announced his retirement after a couple of game comeback with Kansas City. Priest Holmes, who ironically shared the backfield at the University of Texas with Ricky Williams at the end of their Austin days.
6 degrees of separation. We play that in the booth on 0-0 games.
And the Steelers in a very bad part of the field right now.
3rd and 1. Najee Davenport is in, and he is stopped. So a decision here for a field goal would be about 44 or 45 yards. What a game Joey Porter and Will Allen are having. And they're going to try the field goal.
You have to try it. You're in a position to take the lead. Of course, anything can happen with the conditions like they are right now. As I said a moment ago, this is one of the worst areas of the field they are in right now. You actually see the water, the mud. Actually, where the ball will be placed by Danny Sepulveda is a pretty good spot. But where the ball is being snapped looks very difficult.
With the play clock running down, kicking to this open end of Heinz Field has always been tough. Jeff Reed for the game's first points. No good. Not even close. Start the 4th with John Beck throwing incomplete, intended for Marty Booker. The Dolphins are without Jesse Chapman and Ricky Williams, their top 2 running backs, out with injury. Tony, you guessed 9 years going to break.
Wow.
Did you peek?
No, I didn't peek.
Yes, you did.
No, where would I have
you
peeked?
did. I know you.
This is the second time in 20 years that a game has been scoreless after 3 quarters. September 20 of '98, the Eagles and the Cardinals. That game ended Arizona 17-3. The quarterbacks in the game were Jake Plummer and Bobby Hoying.
Did anybody later play with Ricky Williams?
Give me a second. 3rd and 6. Pressure picked up, so there's time for Beck. Is there a receiver open? In the middle, yes, it is caught for the first down by the tight end, or rather that is Marty Booker. Booker with the grab. A lot of chatting going on for no points being scored.
Exactly
it's at the Pittsburgh 43.
That's the same play that we broke down earlier in the game. They've run it 3 times thus far. The Dolphins are going to their maximum protection. 8 offensive linemen, backs, and tight ends stay in the block. 2 receiver route. You'll see it open up right there. Marty Booker makes the catch. You got a post coming over the top, hold that safety, and hook up Booker right there. And they're going in maximum protection to give Beck time in the pocket. Good play design.
1st and 10, and here comes Patrick Cobbs out of North Texas in his 2nd year. The 3rd string back gains a couple of yards in front of James Farrier. Well, John Beck is older than Ben Roethlisberger. 6 months older, as a matter of fact. Beck is the first to reach 100 yards here on the night. Short passing has been the way, but through 7 quarters, no interceptions against the Eagles and Steelers on the road.
Yeah, and I thought John Beck in our production meeting yesterday, he showed great maturity, leadership, and understanding what it was going to take to be successful at this level. Tony, I was very impressed.
I know, it sounds like you wanted to take a vacation. Love the guy. It was great. 100 yards, first to 100. Brady's to 100 yards in 2 plays.
Flag is down from the 40. Beck tossing the deep ball. Marty Booker slid on the way out. No chance to get there. Let's check the penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Triplett.
Illegal shift. Offense. The line was going down as the man went in motion. Never getting set. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, it's the first time they've gone early on to go get a quarterback in the draft since the Marino days. So they put a lot into Beck. Who's too high for Ted Ginn, and that pass is incomplete. And what have they done, and why has this impacted the team? Because they've really been deeply in search for Marino. Draft picks are gold in this NFL of the salary cap, so you never want to use them and throw them away. Well, with nothing to show for it, the guys on the left, except for Cleo Lemon and Trent Green on IR. Look at the draft picks in the last few years they have traded to try to find the next quarterback here in Miami, or the stopgap short term.
Yeah, the best way to go is to draft a guy that you believe in, so you'll have the man for 8 to 10 years, and that's what the Dolphins believe they have in John Beck.
Right now, he has to get the team to the 32 for the first down. It's 3rd and 13. He's getting time to throw, and it is caught by Booker at the 25-yard line for a first down. So Beck with a good throw, and Booker gets Miami its deepest penetration of the night. The gain was 21.
Once again, Tony, excuse me, a great job by Beck of waiting in the pocket. Now, again, they went 7-man protection, only 3 receivers out, a half-field read for John Beck. Once again, we're seeing a very simplified game plan attacking areas of the field.
Be a great story, honestly, if Beck throws a touchdown pass and they win the game. It is a great story.
It's the mighty Steelers at home, and you got an 0-10 team. They got them on the ropes.
It's not only the mighty Steelers at home. The Steelers, I believe, are 5-0 at home this year. On Monday Night Football, I think they have not lost in their last 12 appearances.
Correct.
The Steelers are also coming off a game in which they lost to the Jets and got chewed out by their coach and vowed that such a loss would not happen again. You lose to a 1-8 Jets team and come back and lose to an 0-10 Dolphins team at home, that would be terrible for the Steelers.
It would be devastating.
Terrible.
2nd and 8. Patrick Cobbs running, looking for room. Cobbs is at the 19-yard line. From here, it's about a 37-yard field goal. Here's Michelle on the sideline.
Yeah, well, Cobbs is still in there, and they're going with him on this drive because Jesse Chapman is questionable with a neck injury. Remember that Ricky Williams went out in the first half, and I asked Cam Cameron about him at halftime, and he said he'll be okay. Plus, we've got Chapman and we've got Cobbs. Well, now they've just got Cobbs, Mike.
Cobbs, who went to camp with the Patriots as an undrafted college free agent in 06, was traded by New England to Pittsburgh on September 1st and waived by the Steelers a week later. Never had an NFL carry until this year. 3rd and 5. Going to try to throw. Beck gets away, and the pass is incomplete, but that was a good survival play. And now let's see, will they go with Jay Feely for a 38-yard field goal attempt?
Well, they're going to have to attempt the field goal here, but in that particular play, James Ferrier came in clean. The Dolphins had the screen set up nicely. John Beck was not able to set the screen because of Ferrier. You'll see Ferrier right up the middle on what they call the Fire X in Pittsburgh, the hallmark of their defense. And you'll see because of the pressure, he was not able to get the ball. Beck was not able to get the ball to Patrick Cobbs.
One of the reasons they let Alinda Mare go is to get Jay Feely a bad weather kicker because the Dolphins play games in the Northeast in the winter in their division. He kicked with the Giants for a couple of years. This kick for the first points of the night from 38 yards. Flag down before the kick. Flag down before the kick, so the block did not happen.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Which is going to help them.
I'm actually thinking the same thing, Mike. They get a better spot on the field. They're out of the kidding litter. They're on some actual grass. I'm trying to figure out the yardage.
What you're pointing out, that area where you see the line of scrimmage, it, of course, is 7.5 yards back for the snap.
Yeah, you can see right in there, Mike. That's the worst part of the field, right there. I mean, you can see it's mushy. Their feet are going down a good 3 inches into the ground. And for a place kicker, that's the worst spot on the field.
And now they've brought the offense back on. So if Feely was trying to explain to Cam Cameron, I've got better footing back here, I'll be better. He said, no, I don't want to see another disaster. Let me take a shot at 4th and 11 from the 25-yard line.
Two-receiver out once again.
Back hit, ball out, recovered by Pittsburgh. Aaron Smith comes up with the recovery. Mr. Monday Night on defense this year, James Harrison knocked it out. No score, 4th quarter. Willie Parker runs left, gains 3. Channing Crowder the tackle. Susie Colbert the report.
Well, do you think Joey Porter's replacement in the Steelers defense wanted to have a great night tonight too? And here's why. James Harrison is described by his linebackers coach as Mike Tyson in pads. He packs an incredibly powerful punch in just a short space, and he really knows how to use his leverage, Mike.
Harrison had 3.5 sacks and forced fumbles, multiple forced fumbles when we were here 3 weeks ago for the Steelers win over Baltimore. Roethlisberger's throw is caught by Cedric Wilson. That's a Steeler first down at the 43-yard line as we spin down toward 10 minutes and the Steelers not huddling again. And the rain comes down again.
I like the change, going to that speed offense, no huddle, get the tempo going.
Parker trying to run wide away from Jason Taylor, who forced it out that way. And Joey Porter showed him the sideline, a loss of about 3 yards. Well, how late do you have a scoreless game going into the fourth quarter? About 5 minutes in, where we are right now. Some perspective on how rare what we're seeing is. This would be a replacement game, I believe, in October of 1987. It was the Giants at the Bills. So it's been 20 years, and not with true NFL players, since we've seen 50 minutes of football and no score. Roethlisberger, everything long was covered. Parker short. Got a nice block from Cedric Wilson to allow him to get to the 48-yard line. Channing Crowder has been busy. He made the tackle.
Good job by Willie Parker, just gaining enough yards to get into a third down and manageable situation. Again, the Steelers going with their sugar huddle, lining up at the line of scrimmage. Ben in the shotgun, very proficient in the shotgun formation with an empty backfield.
Roethlisberger, who's only missed on 2 passes tonight, but everything's been short. An exchange of Jason Taylor over to that defensive left, offensive right side. Working on Willie Colon. Hines Ward the catch. First down. Hogtied and brought down by Michael Lehan. But a good gain to the 38-yard line of the Dolphins.
An excellent job by Ben Roethlisberger. Surveyed the field. Saw the rush coming off the edge. It was a 5-man rush. Immediately got the ball out of his hand. Good job by Ben Roethlisberger, seeing the field clearly.
20 years since the last one, Mike. 20 years since 0-0 this late.
A replacement.
This game feels like 20 years.
We're moving up on 25 years right now, Tony. We're past the 20-year mark. Najee Davenport in the game, runs to the left. Got a good block from Alan Faneca, who was pulling, and gets out for a gain of about 5 yards, again to the 34-yard line of the Dolphins.
This is what I expected, and I believe we expected after meeting with Mike Tomlin on Saturday. This style of Steeler football is coming to life late in the game, the violent running game.
We've seen field goals have been a problem. The winds are swirling at this point. It's hard to say one team is going into the wind. It appears there's a little bit of a help for Jeff Reed right now if there's a field goal attempt to come. Parker dances to the left. Another play by Joey Porter. Everyone followed by a stare back to the Steeler bench.
And a boo from the crowd.
2 minutes ago, you had the Dolphins having the Steelers on the ropes. Now you've announced that this is the Steeler football.
This is a heavyweight fight. This is a heavyweight fight, back and forth, back and forth. This is what you gotta love about football, Tony. No matter what the record.
It's a heavyweight fight with both guys missing on every punch.
In the 54th scoreless minute, 3rd and 5. I feel like I'm a broadcaster for soccer. Roethlisberger out of the pocket, chased down, brought down by Vonnie Holiday. Back at the 42-yard line, out of field goal range. The Steelers must punt.
So it's 0-0 on the pitch right now, Joss.
You'll see this, the Dolphins in there creeping up near the line of scrimmage. Vonnie Holiday stays as contained on the outside. Sees Ben break the pocket. There's Holiday with the sack. This is an 0-10 football team, Tony. They haven't won a game all season. You gotta love the effort.
For field position, Sepulveda to Ginn, Ted, fair catch at the 10. 4 sacks for the Dolphins tonight. 25 years ago, December of 1982, the snowplow game with New England and Miami. Last time a game went this long without a point scored. At 4:10 of the fourth quarter of that game, John Smith of the Patriots kicked a field goal, 1-3-0. Dolphin fans remember that. Pass to Marty Booker. Gain of a yard. In front of Ike Taylor. Both defenses encouraged by their efforts tonight. The perspective on this Dolphin team. Before 1940, you had teams that played a 2 or 3 game season with no wins. So you have to really go to 1940 to say full season, lose every game. 4 times in that short stretch, and then the 1976 Buccaneers. The Dolphins at 0-10 are trying to avoid becoming the second team in the last 63 years to go an entire season and get no wins. lose all of their games, I should say. Beck surveying a lot of covered receivers. And he's sacked by Brett Kiesel, another BYU alum. 3rd and 12. Throwing from down here to Justin Peel, the tight end. No gain. Tyrone Carter. Both defenses, aided by the weather, have done a quality job tonight.
What was the number of where was the score in the snowplow game? Because I want to know, once we pass that, what's next?
At the 4:10 mark, I believe the guy's name was Mark Henderson, the work release out of jail.
Right, cleared it off.
Cleared out the path.
Cleared it off.
John Smith of the Patriots to kick the field goal against the Dolphins.
We're going to hit that milestone soon. You're going to have another number for us, I know.
We have a whistle here, and will it be a penalty on the Dolphins? Yes.
False start. Number 82 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal. 4th down.
You know, we focus so much on the punters, the guys handling the balls. How about the snappers here tonight? John Denny, the ball is wet. The umpire does the best job possible to keep it dry, but here with right at the full 15 yards to snap it, you're going to make a perfect snap to Fields, a rookie, and Alan Rossum, one of the more decorated kick return men in the history of the league, is back to return.
Timeout.
I don't know if one of the teams called it or not.
No, that judge came.
3. Thank you.
What was that?
Just resetting the clock to 4:23. It continued to spin down. Good snap. Fields, not much wind help. Rossum backpedaling at the 47. Splashes his way left. Is brought down at the 42-yard line. Time now to recap the scoring in tonight's game. There's your recap.
I've seen this before when Don Larson pitched a perfect game in the 56 World Series, I think. I've seen all those zeros.
Do you know if the 20-yard line was the goal line tonight, it'd still be scoreless. We haven't had a snap in the red zone, even though all 9 Pittsburgh possessions have started in or advanced into Miami territory.
Is this the game all those defensive purists just love?
And fantasy football owners despise.
Oh, my goodness.
Roethlisberger to Parker. Gain of a couple. It's because of the sloppy turf through Susie.
Well, I can't emphasize enough just how brutal the conditions are, and especially for the big guys, because it's almost as if they're playing in quicksand. Watching them come off the field just to lift their feet is an effort. And all those big divots in the new sod, I thought we were supposed to see stuff like that in polo, not in the NFL. Watch the coaches between series just trying to replace some of these huge pieces of sod.
So staff that has worked on the field many hours, continuing to do that here through the night. 2nd and 8. Fans booed the run. Roethlisberger a throw, and it is caught by Hines Ward.
Red zone alert, Michael.
I was just going to say, at the 19. First down. 7th catch for Ward on the night.
I think you want to be careful here, because if you're the Steelers and you score, you don't want to give the Dolphins too much time to score, huh, Joss?
That's right. You got to work the clock here.
It's a nice throw by Ben.
Excellent throw. Hines gets those numbers down to the ball.
57 minutes, no points. Willie Parker spins to the 10-yard line.
And a flag comes in, Michael.
Flag back at the line of scrimmage. Could this be a hold?
Yes.
Holding. Number 83 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
2nd flag on Heath Miller. 1 happened for offensive pass interference. And Mike Tomlin asked, who is it on? 83, your tight end.
You'll see Heath Miller right there, number 83, blocking on Jason Taylor. You can see him grab the jersey and wrestle him to the ground. He's had some great blocks on Jason Taylor tonight. That time, he got caught holding.
Tony's enjoying these updates, and Steve Hurt, who handles all these stats for us, passing along. December 1st, 1974, Tony.
Now we're back to that.
Was the we've passed that already. 49ers and Browns. I'll give you the next one in a minute.
Good.
Every snap brings another record. And 2nd down, first down again, Roethlisberger to Ward. Tackled by Cameron Worrell at the 22-yard line. We'll have second down coming up. Here you go, Tony. Here's the update.
What do we got?
Latest scoreless into a game.
43.
In 63 years. Well, we're going to go all the way to the end now. That was the final score. 64 years since we're past November 7th.
I'm old. I wasn't even born then. That's a long time ago.
And
I'm so proud to be part of history.
Well, that finished 0-0 with no overtime. So if we do go to overtime, it will be the longest scoreless game in the history.
Ever.
Because they had no overtime at that point.
Yeah.
I think that game was played at Bridge Stadium in Detroit. From the 23, second and 14. Blitz picked up. Roethlisberger wards the man here in this last couple of drives. Ben got most of the penalty yardage back. The Steelers will have third and, about 3 yards to go for a first down. Roethlisberger's hit 17 of 19 passes. Third and about 3 yards from the 12-yard line for the Steelers. At the 2-minute warning, Miami only has one timeout left. Roethlisberger swings it out. It is caught by Willie Reed. His 4th catch of the year is a first down inside the 10 at the 6-yard line with 1:50 left. Roethlisberger has hit his last 15 passes, and Pittsburgh will try to punch it in.
Just an outstanding job by the Steelers here, anticipating the blitz from the Miami Dolphins. Get the ball quickly to the outside to Willie Reed. Takes it up for the first down. Bruce Arians, offensive coordinator, good design on that play. Got a big first down.
Willie Reed is only active because Santonio Holmes is out. Hasn't played since the Seattle game in week 5. First and goal for Pittsburgh. Ben almost fell, keeps his balance, rolling and throwing, knocked down by Joey Porter. Well, second down coming up with $1:13 left.
Very strange call in this situation, you know, especially Ben moving out to Joey Porter's side. He's been very effective today, Joey Porter. He may almost get another interception right here, as you'll see Ben fakes the run and comes up throwing, and Joey does get a hand on the football. But when you know, Tony, don't want to leave too much time for the Dolphins to come back here.
Exactly. Because they've been a juggernaut the entire game.
I need to tee up on that one.
Thank you.
Wilson and Washington. Nate Washington come to the bottom. Hines Ward to the top in short motion. Second and goal from the 7. Parker runs to the right. He stopped there at the 5, and we have third down now. And see what Pittsburgh will do. First thing they'll do here is stop the clock. A timeout is taken, I believe, by the Steelers. Just to be clear, Miami called the timeout. They're out of timeouts. They've lost 5 of their 10 games this year by 3 points or less. That's already a franchise record. And with Pittsburgh at the Miami 5, they're in Jeff Reed's field goal range even on this difficult night. Johns, what are you thinking here play-wise, knowing Miami's out of timeouts?
Well, play-wise, irrelevant. I think you want to set up Jeff Reed with the best possible turf to kick the field goal from, which would mean run the ball to the left, or Ben maybe drop back 2 feet to his left, set him up right between the uprights on some good turf.
Najee Davenport is the back. They will throw. Ben is pressured, gets away from one, and will go down on the right side at the 6-yard line.
That's questionable. That's questionable. I mean, he almost lost 12 yards on the play. Should have.
Well, the one thing about a throw there, if he did throw it, it would have stopped the clock if incomplete and given Miami more time. Now Pittsburgh will let it run down to about 20 seconds.
Well, you can see right there the ball dangling away. I mean, only mistakes can happen there. Only bad things can happen when the quarterback is being attacked by 3 Miami defenders. Vonnie Holiday right there almost gets a hand there and knocks the ball away.
I would think what you'd want to do with that play is make sure that when you lined up to kick a field goal, you were in the driest possible conditions,
turf, yeah,
so that you could assure your field goal kicker, when he planted, wouldn't slip. Nice hair on Jeff Reed. Wow.
You see Jeff's history here in late second situations. A timeout was taken by Pittsburgh with 14 seconds left, and here's Susie to talk about the kicker.
Yeah, well, in the break before last, Mike Tomlin was frantically searching for Jeff Reed, wanted him up and ready to go, has the confidence that even in these conditions he can make the kick. But Reed told me any kick tonight was going to be an adventure. He had walked down the whole middle of the field, has called it a quagmire, especially any place between the 25s. At this point, though, any place on the field. He said his strategy was to try to take smaller steps, but it's not like like he isn't used to this. He said in his 6 years here, the field has always been an issue. He thought it couldn't get worse, but it has tonight. This will be an adventure.
Greg Warren will be his snapper, number 60, and during the whole timeout, Warren was working the area from where he'll snap from. Cam Cameron has no timeouts to freeze Reed, so there's no thought of that. This is a 24-yarder. The clock has properly been reset to 20. And Pittsburgh goes for the first points of the night.
This is far from a gimme. This is not a chip shot.
The holder is the rookie punter, Daniel Sepulveda. Snap good, hold good, kick good.
Eureka!
17 seconds left, 3-0. Ted Ginn is back. You would expect a squib kick that will be hard to field on this wet turf. There it is. Will it get all the way back to Ginn? Yes, it will. Well, it was going to, but instead it was picked up. Now they start lateraling to Ginn, who's brought down at a very good Anthony Madison play to bring him down at the 31-yard line. Let's take you back to the game-winning, or the game first points that should be the game-winning kick. Roethlisberger watching a night when his stats were very good. I know his short pass is 18 of 21. Mike Tomlin knew it was going to be a physical game, asked his team to be physical, saw them get into Dolphins territory all night. Reed, whose only miss was from 65 yards coming into tonight, missed earlier in the bad conditions, makes it there. 13 seconds, no timeouts for the Dolphins. John Beck throws it. See if he'll start the laterals. Here goes the Stanford Cow play, which happened 25 years ago. Marty Booker throws it to the quarterback Beck, who couldn't pick it up. With 2 seconds left, the game is not over, but we have penalty markers probably for an illegal forward pass.
And that will end the game.
This will not be the first scoreless game since 1943, so if there are living members of the Giants and Lions who played in that game, they're probably having champagne right now.
You're going to need some champagne when we get out of here.
You bet.
The game should be over with that illegal forward pass. Let's check with Jeff Tripper.
Illegal forward pass. Number 86 of the offense. That penalty is to be declined. Second down.
Pittsburgh 8-3, Cleveland 7-4 will be the story as long as Pittsburgh is not see a miracle happen here. So it would give the Steelers that 1-game lead in the division. 2 seconds left, so it's just a decline penalty there. The clock does not restart. They'll have one more chance to do it again.
For the Steelers, this is a beautiful win.
Let's watch it again. The pass is completed first to Patrick Cobbs. Looks for somebody to throw it to. It starts with the offensive line. Rex Hadnot back to L.J. Shelton.
Oh, and shouldn't have fallen down.
Well, he fell down and slipped. It was pitched back. The play was stopped there at the 44-yard line. So the game is over, and the final is Steelers 3, Dolphins nothing.